The company we work for, Prime Corporate Services, we service startup entrepreneurs, people with side hustles, the gig economy, and we do everything from entity formation, tax preparation, estate planning, building business credit, what have you. And we only had about 25 employees at the time prior to moving to Salesforce, and we were operating out of Google Docs, inside sales, CRM, Post-it notes, you name it. It was utter chaos. And we rolled the dice and invested in Salesforce, and initially signed up with our first implementation partner. We worked with them for about 6 months, and through a mutual connection, I was introduced to SaltClick. And we quickly realized that the level of support we were getting with our first implementation partner was very basic. It was generic. They were things that someone with little to no Salesforce experience could go learn on their online university in their Trailhead. And ultimately, without having any experience in Salesforce, I wouldn't say I necessarily felt taken advantage of, but I definitely felt our first implementation partner didn't really excel or shine or have the resources to allow us to take full advantage of Salesforce. And then once we were introduced to SaltClick and shared some of our experiences and our pain points that we had, whether it was creating flows, automations, custom fields that would help eliminate our Google Docs and manual tracking, there were a lot of things that they brought to light without knowing little to none about our business, that we ultimately felt good about making the switch. And the upgrade or the lift our business got was immediate. And there's just some rock stars on the team that we had access to that made, the consulting fees and the different things that come along with being a consulting partner, worth every penny. Prior to Salesforce, we had about 25 individuals, and we're about 4 years in, and we have 100. So let's say our headcount went up 4x. But our revenue's up about 10 or 12x. And so the best part of Salesforce, in my opinion, don't cut corners, spend money and invest in architects and developers and, companies like SaltClick, just because, they're going to advance your business and automate things that you're paying a human a full-time wage and a salary for. And we learned very quickly that even though it seemed like a hefty cost up front, the ROI on all of those it has paid off at tenfold in the fact that we don't have to hire more people. Technology is reliable. They don't call in sick. They do exactly what you tell them to do. And so we're all about people here at Prime, don't get me wrong, but it's very nice to be in good hands from a technology perspective, knowing that, we have SaltClick in our corner to help us grow our business as we continue to adapt and scale. Oh, I wish I could get a lot of our operations team on here to tell you what life was like before Salesforce, but just so many redundancies. We would put things into our CRM, which was inside sales at the time. Then we'd copy and paste that over to a Google Doc, and then from a Google Doc, another team member would go in there and move it somewhere else. And just the biggest pain points of the right hand wasn't talking to the left. And even though we were very good at copying and pasting, we were really good with our processes, and it helped our business scale to the point where we were at before Salesforce. There were always mistakes. There was always inaccuracies. There was just a lot of things that can fall through the cracks, and even 1% of inaccuracy, it can pile up over time and become a huge issue from a customer service standpoint, a deliverable standpoint. So Salesforce has definitely helped us solve those issues, and SaltClick's been a big part of helping us put together what we need so that things don't fall through the cracks. We primarily operate out of the Sales Cloud, and it handles everything from lead generation all the way through customer fulfillment. And then we have a few third-party attachments that integrates with Salesforce that help with our scheduling, our billing, and what have you. And so the biggest thing with the Sales Cloud is that we've been able to manipulate it to a point where it doesn't matter what part of the business is working on a specific client, or if it's revenue producing situation, if it's operational. We do everything out of one place, and it all fits. It's really awesome. And the way that SaltClick has helped us put all that together is early on, they spent a lot of time specifically with me and with other employees to get use cases, to get their pain points, to understand the customer journey. And, we spent, hours just finding inefficiencies and redundancies in our business where we're like, oh, Salesforce could automate that, or, oh, there's a flow for that, or, oh, there's a third-party software platform for that. And it's been insane how much we've improved from an efficiency standpoint, where it's saved, obviously, on headcount. It's improved accuracy, so many things. So, yeah, ultimately, it's been awesome so far. And like I said, we signed up 4 years ago, and we are not looking back at this point. It's been worth every penny. Geez, your guess is as good as mine. I feel like we're strapped to a rocket ship and just holding on. But, I still believe our business has 10x or more in the future. And Salesforce is going to play a heavy part in getting us there. And there's a lot of pressure on our team to think about the new innovations and iterations of Salesforce to take advantage of their products, to customize it to our customer journey, to use it to boost revenue and efficiencies. It's I am confident we can 10x our business, and I'm also confident we won't have to 10x our headcount because of having Salesforce, having our own resources, and having SaltClick in our corner. Yeah, I mean, we measure everything over here in time, and coming from a place where we were copying and pasting and working out of Google Docs, we would ask people all the time, like, how long did it take you to complete that task? And it could be minutes, it could be hours, whatever. And anytime we invest in Salesforce, we'll say, how many times a day do you do that? And try to quantify the time that is spent. And as far as headcount is concerned, there's a process specifically that used to take us 5 minutes, and we were doing it, call it 1,000 times a month. We now do that same process 5,000 times a month, but with the help of Salesforce, Flows, SaltClick, we've cut that down below 30 seconds. And so one person can do the job of what 5 or 6 used to do. And I have a handful of scenarios that, again, our headcount has actually decreased in certain departments, and we've shifted those resources to other areas of the business where they could help out. And then we've just leaned heavy on technology to shave down the amount of time it takes to complete something, and then also improve the accuracy. It's a huge win across the board. As a COO, I love Salesforce. And coming from someone who didn't have Salesforce in the past, it is a night and day difference in terms of how our business operates and how people work efficiently and getting customers A to B to C to D. Again, it's a premier product, and there's nothing that compares. If you have a CRM, you should have Salesforce. And if you have Salesforce, I highly recommend employing people that know how to use it. And SaltClick is among the best implementation and Salesforce consultants that we've ever worked with. We've had a couple. We haven't liked some of the ones we've worked with. And once we were introduced to SaltClick, we've worked with them for 4 years now. We're never looking back. And you're honestly just in good hands with them, because they have the talent and the ability to maximize Salesforce to its capabilities. A lot of people shy away from the cost of Salesforce, the cost of their licenses, the cost of consulting. And I can tell you from our experience in our business alone, we have got an ROI of 10 times whatever we've put into it. So if you're shy or you need to talk to somebody, I will talk you into it. So that's my endorsement. I would definitely recommend SaltClick and their services for any business that's in our situation. So we're growing to a point where we have hired our own admin, but we still have other resources that we lean on them heavily for, and they will always be part of our business in a fractional capacity. And the reasons I would recommend them, and I already have, I've actually made several introductions to the SaltClick team because of the experience that I had with my original implementation partner compared to what it's been with SaltClick has been so night and day, and they've helped our business so much that it's a no-brainer for me. There's people that I text on a friendly basis. We catch up monthly, and I just know that we have the level of support we need. We have access to the talent we need. And up to this point, there hasn't been a situation that SaltClick couldn't solve or provide a solution at a very high level. And so, like I said, we'll continue to hire Salesforce resources internally as we scale just because we have to. But I will always leverage SaltClick in some capacity for the consulting that we need as we scale, and would 100% recommend them.